There are 8 types of people that I'm going to be avoiding this 2022. The first one is people that love to call you names. They usually want to call you toxic or a hater, or what's the other one, or a narcissist. These are becoming very popular words on YouTube and online generally. The problem with those people who like to call names is that they usually get angry because they're just not getting their own way. They can't control you and they can't influence you. And because you're not acting or speaking or conducting yourself in the way that they think you should, then they start to throw these names at you. And it's really, I mean, when you say somebody's toxic, you're saying that they're poisonous, and what have you done to them that's going to make you so poisonous? So what I say to them is that when you're pointing one finger at me, remember 3 are pointing back at you. And those 3 fingers that are pointing back at people who love to call other people names is that 1, they are weak. Number 2, they are victim-minded. And number 3, they are manipulative because they just want to get their own way. Number 2, people who I find very annoying, is people who are wearing uniforms. Not all of them, some of them are very nice, but doctors, policemen, soldiers, even traffic wardens if you live in the West, can be really annoying. They seem to have a God complex and don't have any common sense. So what they say is what's supposed to go. It doesn't matter, I mean, there could be just a security guard, but they feel like they're the boss and that you should never question them at all. They have, like I said, a God complex. The main thing to do with people who are wearing uniform, because remember, when they take off the uniform, they're the same man and the same woman, just like you and I. But when they're uniform on, they feel brave. But what if you really want to freak out a person who is authoritarian in their uniform, you just tell them these 3 words and that will touch their button, and you will see the worst of them. And those 3 words are, usually when they're talking to you, if you say, I don't agree, that will just strike their nerve and they'll be on your case in a tick in no time at all. And then the people, number 3 is the people who tell you the most obvious things about yourself. Like, don't you see that you're putting on weight, or you're too loud, or you're too soft, or you're too aggressive, or you're just too. Everything for them about them is just that you're too this and too that. Well, what Jesus said to the people like this, and I do agree with him, even though I don't necessarily follow the Bible in the same way that many of you do, but what I agree with this statement is that when somebody's coming at you and criticizing you or telling you something that's just so obvious and you're dealing with it in your own time, then just remind them that they should take the big stick out of their eye instead of trying to take the tiny splinter out of your eye, okay? And then the 4th person who really can get my back up is ungrateful people. No matter what you do for them, it's never good enough. But you know what I say to people like that? If what I do for you is never going to be good enough for you, then you are always going to be too much for me. So, bye. And then who's the next one? The person who pretends that they've got a perfect life, everything is cool, and they might feel like they've got a better husband than you, the husband is richer, the more attractive, they've got a more beautiful home, they've got a lovely car, they've got everything that they need, and so they feel that they can lord over you, or they feel superior to you in your commonality in some way or the other. But one thing I would encourage you to remind people who act as if they're better than you just because they've got material things, or they might have a certificate somewhere, or they've achieved some great job, is just to remind them that your feelings are the most important things. Remember, when we look at the sunset, it's based on what we feel. It's not on the sunset of what our eyes see, it's how we feel about the sunset. When we fall in love, it's about how we feel about that person. When we go to eat a meal, it's what we feel about our meal. So feelings rule and govern our world. Now, no matter what you have over me, you're still going to have to suffer the same feelings of rejection, loneliness, fear, disappointment. Every feeling that I experience is likely that with or without your wealth and success, you are still going to experience those things. And that's not saying that I have anything problem with people who are successful. My problem, Anita, I beg. My problem is when you want to lord it over us as if the material things is making your life any sweeter. Trust me, I coach a lot of people and I know that money cannot replace the feelings and the issues that you're going to face with feelings. It can't protect you from the feelings that the common man, the poor man, the lazy man, the incompetent man, whoever it is that you look down on, you're going to feel the same things as what he's going to feel. So, get over yourself and get over your material possessions. And then the other set of people now, this is number 8, I believe, or maybe not, number 7. The next set of people who really agitate me are the people that when you borrow them money through the kindness of your heart, and then when it comes to time to pay you back, they don't call you, they don't say anything, so they put you in a position of having to be the aggressor to get your money back. So you have to call them, where's my money, this, that, and the other, and they're telling you, they're making it difficult for you. So they try to make you feel guilty. They try to make you feel that you're wrong in some way for wanting your own thing back. Well, you know what I say to people like that? You fooled me once, and that was shame on me, as they say. But fool me twice. Fool me once, it's shame on you. But fool me twice is shame on me. And I'm never going to give you a chance to make me feel ashamed of myself. So the next time you come and ask, in fact, don't bother, because you won't be getting. That's the last time you're going to get anything out of me. And I think I've got my numbers mixed up. I think I missed somebody out somewhere. In fact, I'm sure I did. Who did I miss out? Oh yeah, those people who never call you, but they get upset when you don't call them. I'm like, what's happening? The phone line works both ways, doesn't it? The phone communication works in both directions, so why can't you call me? And worse, you're getting upset when I don't call you. Baby, I won't be calling you unless I see your number ringing on my phone every now and again. And it's the same set of people who also want you to visit them. They want you to come, they want you to hang out in their house and be in their environment, yet they will never ever come to your house. As far as I'm concerned, if you can't come to my place, don't expect me to show up at yours for any occasion. You're not worth it. And then the other one is, who have I got here? People who never, okay, yeah. And then you've got the last set of people that I find really annoying because they use the most spiritual information, the wisest texts that's come from ancient days to do what? Prosperity preach. They could be gurus or they could be preachers, but all they want to do is tell you that you need more. You need a private jet. You need to have vintage cars lined up in your mansion's driveway. You need designer shoes, alligator shoes, Gucci. These are people who are taking wisdom about our life and our experiences and trying to teach us what? Let me just put it in another way. What I call prosperity gurus and prosperity preachers is greed preachers. That's what they are. They're greed gurus and they are greed preachers. And one that our real ancient wisdom tells us is that greed and the grave are the same thing. They are never satisfied. And these prosperity preachers want to put you in a state of constant dissatisfaction, constantly grabbing for more material. They're not even telling you to become more loving, more sharing, more considerate. Go and visit somebody in prison. They'll tell you to give them your money, give you their money, instead of you giving it to the individual that you really think needs it. And then they'll do it all in the name of prosperity. Well, my dear, when a prosperity preacher comes on, the first thing I do is switch them off, because not only am I not going to give them my time, but I'll never give them an opportunity to make money from me. All right, so those were a few unpopular opinions. Let's see if you agree, and who are the people that you find most annoying, who really gets your goat, that you're having to have a strategy I never agree with separating or isolating from people, but sometimes we just need a strategy of how to put them in their place, all right? So stay strong in 2022, and yeah, over and out. You've been listening to Reasoning with Rima, and I hope to come to you with a lot of interesting topics this year, all right? Okay, bye.